being here with us on the program here, Sports Splash hosts, 9:15 to 9:50, Mondays down to Friday. I am Ike Mokedi. On the show this morning, the Super Eagles have begun preparations for the upcoming qualifiers that are coming up this weekend. We'll tell you how Governor Soludo has inaugurated a committee for the 2024 Traders Sports Competition. And of course, Coco Golf beats Muchova in China for the 8th WTA title. And Real Madrid confirms that Dani Carvajal will be out for the rest of the season with a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament here. We also have the results of league matches are played across Western Europe, and that was at the weekend. We'll focus on France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and England on the sports show, Sports Splash on ABS TV. And now to the program proper. Let's tell you that Victor Boniface, Chidera Ejuke, and Demola Lukman are some of the stars who have been called up by Augustine Eguavon for Nigeria's 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers doubleheader against Libya. And the Super Eagles will continue their fight for a 2025 AFCON ticket later this month when they take on Libya in a doubleheader. We here record that the qualifiers kicked off in September, and Nigeria started on the front foot, picking a 3-0 victory over Benin Republic in Uyo before playing out a goalless against Rwanda, and that's in Kigali. This time, the Super Eagles will be looking to affirm their prowess in Group D by defeating Libya ahead of the doubleheader. Interim coach Eguavon has named the 23-man shortlist to execute the games, and Sevilla man Ejuke is one of the notable additions to the team as he returns to the Super Eagles fold after 2 years away from the team. He will be accompanied by his club teammate Kelechi Iheanacho, who has been named a regular. Meanwhile, Victor Osimhen was not included due to his injury at Galatasaray, but informed Boniface will be looking to fill that vacuum. There has been talks that Chelsea defender Tosin Adarabioyo could be called up. However, there is no space for him as the usual protagonists like Semi Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, and Captain William Truss Ekonga keep their spots in the team or the squad that released by interim manager Austin Eguavon for the AFCON qualifiers at the 2025 edition coming up later this weekend. And of course, there will be no club matches this weekend. It is the weekend for international matches. We'll be watching now from Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and equally Tuesday. Various nations out there will be involved in crucial of course, qualifiers, be it for the Nations Cup qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, UEFA, Nations League, and all that everywhere. Away from that now, let's come back home. Anambra State Government, Governor Chukwuma Soludo has inaugurated a 27-member main organizing committee, MOC, for the 2024 edition of the Anambra State Traders Competition. The MOC was inaugurated at the Anambra State Market Traders Association as Smarter Secretariat Onitsha, and that was on Thursday, the 3rd of October 2024. While inaugurating the committee, Governor Soludo, who was represented by his Special Advisor on Trade and Commerce, Honorable Evarista Oba, called on Anambra Traders community to ensure they fully take part in the competition geared towards creating bonding and unity via sports. Oba admonished the elderly to engage in indoor games and to release their young athletic apprentices to take part in the game of football and other sporting programs, while expressing hope that this year's edition will be more competitive as the prize money has been doubled for top performers in the various events. On his part, Chairman of the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, Mr. Patrick Estate Onyedum, stated that the competition was in realization of the fact that traders have a large population of men and women who have interest in sports. According to Onyedum, the athletes will compete for glory and money on behalf of their market. He tasked the various market leaders to present their real members to engender social interaction and spirit of sportsmanship among them. The ASSDC boss added that the traders sports competition will hold from October to the first week of December. Mr. Mr. Governor is passionate about traders. He started this last year, and at the finals, he promised to make it bigger and better than this. So the winners at this time will double the amount that they got last year. Also speaking in the course of that, the President General PG of Asmata, Humphrey Anona, commended Soludo for his commitment towards the welfare of traders in the state, including their fiscal fitness. He stated Anona assured that traders will be fully mobilized for the sporting event, and that this year would witness a huge improvement over the first edition. Six subcommittees including technical, administration, finance and mobilization, venue, facility and security, media and publicity, ceremonial, protocol were also constituted and inaugurated. Events to be featured in the competition include tennis, football, draft, table tennis, and cho, or what is also fondly known as Ayo. So that's talking about the Traders Cup. The 27-man committee has been inaugurated, and it happened on Thursday last week. So we are set for the commencement of the Traders Cup very shortly. We're still talking about the programs of the Anambra State Sports Development Commission. Let's tell you that the 10-day volleyball referees course and a 5-day Southeast volleyball coaching course held in Anambra State has concluded on a remarkable note, and the volleyball training course which commenced on Wednesday, the 25th of September, 2024, and came to a crescendo, and that was on Friday, October 4, 2024, at the Archbishop Obiefuna Retreat Center in Nodu Okpuno. Oka South LGA was bankrolled by the Anambra State government, organized by the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, ASSDC, in partnership with the Anambra State Volleyball Association, geared towards enhancing the skills of referees and coaches in the Southeast Zone. The resource person who tutored the trainees was the renowned volleyball expert coach Tony Obuma, who is widely regarded as a living legend in Nigerian volleyball, as the most decorated individual in the sports and former president of the Volleyball Referees Association. In a chat with sports writers, Coach Obuma eulogized the participants, describing them as seasoned professionals eager to implement the techniques and strategies learned in the course of the training program. He expressed optimism that the impact of the training will become evident in the couple of years to come, while commending Governor Chukwuma Soludo for supporting the initiative through the Anambra State Sports Development Commission. On his part, Emeka Obidimma, Director of Sports at the ASSDC, encouraged the attendees to put the knowledge gained into practice in their respective areas. He emphasized that the importance of continuous development to foster better performance in volleyball across the state. Olusule, sports consultant to the ASSDC, admonished the participants to prioritize teaching and developing young talent at the grassroots level to help in building future champions. Sule reaffirmed that Governor Soludo's commitment to creating a thriving sports environment in Anambra State with his immense contributions to the continued growth of sports in the region. Olusule stated off on that one. So that's a 10-day competition. That 10-day volleyball seminar has come to an end, and it was a great one. And of course, the coaches now will now have the opportunity to feature at major national events and international events, courtesy of this training and the certification they bagged in the course of this training exercise. And we say congratulations to the recipients of the certificate based on the volleyball retreat we had that was held in the States. And that was last week getting into, and that was last 2 weeks getting into last week. Congratulations to them once again. And now time for us to check out Nigeria players outside the shores. Nottingham Forest boss Nuno Espirito Santo has highlighted the importance of managing Taiwo Awoniyi in the right way to get him back up to speed. This season we hear the Nigerian international missed a large chunk of the 2023-2024 campaign with a groin injury that required a surgery, and has been used sparingly since making a full recovery. We hear Awoniyi made his first start off the new season in the 1-0 defeat to Fulham, and that was on September 28th, although he was taken off at halftime despite performing well up front alongside Chris Wood. We hear the 27-year-old striker, was called up to the Super Eagles squad for the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifying doubleheader against Libya this month. And Nuno hopes he gets some game time for the country to aid his match sharpness we hear. And of course, he said this of that man. He made mention of the fact that all the strikers need that moment, but Taiwo did well in the match against Fulham. It's been a while since he started. He played 45 minutes and created a lot of situations. The Portuguese tactician said, we are counting on him. It was an option to put him alongside Chris Wood. It's something we have to work on and improve because it can give us a good performance results, he said. But that was the first time of using it. I think he did well and stated that Nuno Espirito Santo of Taiwo Awoniyi's performance in the game against Fulham, and that was in the Premier League. And now we'll move on to the continent. Two-time African AFCON winner, Coach Hervé Renard, has disclosed that he came closer to becoming Nigeria's head coach. The Frenchman has remained unattached since he decided not to extend his contract with French Football Federation as the senior women's national team head coach. That was in the month of June. The Super Eagles coaching job has been vacant since June when Finidi George resigned after the team failed to defeat South Africa and Benin Republic, and Augustine Eguavon is currently serving as an interim coach of the team at this point. I almost went to Nigeria. Renard, who won the AFCON title with Zambia and Ivory Coast, told the media, I weighed up at the pros and cons for a few days, even a few weeks before refusing it. It is the best offer I have had so far. The rest didn't suit me, he stated. Eguavon will be in charge of Nigeria during the upcoming back-to-back 2025 AFCON qualifiers against Libya on the 6th of October and the 14th of October. And lastly, on the African scene, let's tell you that Ghana head coach Otto Addo has announced that his 25-man squad that will face Libya in the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Olympic Lyon forward Ernest Nuama and Ibrahim Sulemana of Atalanta have made a return to the squad after recovering from injury setbacks that kept them out of last month's qualifiers. The Black Stars will play Sudan at the Accra Sports Stadium, and that's coming up on Thursday, October 10th, and then before traveling to Libya for the reverse fixture, the Mitas of Benin Stadium in Benin, Libya on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Ghana are currently placed third in the Group F standings, 5 points behind leaders Angola with 4 matches left. For the full squad, I will have for goalkeepers Joseph Awala-Court, Frederick Asare, and Lawrence Atizigi. Defenders' name will have Alexander Jiku, Alidu Seidu, Tariq Lamte, Abdul Munin, Salisu Mohammed, Jerome Opoku, Kingsley Schindler, Gideon Mensah, and Isaac Afu. For midfielders called up for the qualifiers, will have Mohamed Kudus of West Ham United, Thomas Partey of Arsenal, Elisha Owusu, Majid Ashimeru, Ibrahim Sulemana, Ernest Nuama, Ibrahim Osman, Fatao Ishahaku, and John Pencil. While for strikers, we'll have Antoine Semenyo, Inaki Williams, Jordan Ayew, and Brandon Thomas Asante. We are all called up for the upcoming qualifiers, and that's a great squad for Ghana. We'll be watching out for that, and it's all about the Nations Cup qualifiers, and let's see how it goes for the Black Stars of Ghana as they prepare. You're watching Sports Splash on ABS TV. The Monday edition is the first one for the week. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with more stories. We'll serve you stories on what's happening in the world of Formula One. We'll also go to Spain, Real Madrid, and tell you about the situation of Vinicius Jr. and Dani Carvajal. And then we'll have news about one of the youngest tennis players in the globe, Coco Gauff. We'll tell you more about that, and that's on the flip side of a Sports Splash. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It is still Sports Splash on ABS TV, the Monday edition. In the first half, we told you about the Eagles squad for the upcoming Nations Cup qualifiers against Libya and how the Super Eagles are preparing for the double-header. We equally told you that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has inaugurated a 27-member committee for the upcoming Traders Cup competition. We equally told you that the volleyball coaching clinic has come to a crescendo in Anambra State. A 10-day coaching course are held out there at the Archbishop Obiefuna Retreat Center. It was in Okpuno. We equally told you about Nuno Espirito Santo, talking about Taiwo Awoniyi's impact at Nottingham Forest, and how Hervé Renard has confirmed that he once came closer to becoming the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But that one didn't go down as he planned. And let's move away from that. Let's talk about Formula One. In the world of Formula One, the Formula One bosses have delayed a plan to host an end-of-the-season race for aspiring drivers until at least 2025. The idea adopted that the rookie race was to host a sprint-type event at the post-season test in Abu Dhabi to give young drivers a better opportunity to demonstrate their qualifications to race in the Formula One. But a meeting of the FI Commission on Wednesday decided that more time was needed to ensure the idea worked as effectively as possible. A statement for the FIA read, and I read, while the concept received a widespread support, it was determined that due to timing, an organizational constraint at the event will not take place in 2024, and discussions will continue to formulate a potential concept and plan for 2025. Teams governing body, the FIA and commercial rights holder Liberty Media, the three parties that comprise the FI Commission, agreed that there was a feeling the plan was being rushed. Among the concern was that the load imposed on the team members who already have done the longest season in history and will be forced to stay out in Abu Dhabi after the final race for this new event. There are also implications on freight and other logistics, as well as how the event will be televised and ensuring it was appealing for any audience we hear. Away from that now, let's move over to the world of tennis. In tennis, world number 6, Coco Gauff, dominated unseeded as Czech player Karolina Muchova to win the China Open, the 8th WTA title of her career, and the first since the month of January. The American fourth seed has struggled with her serve earlier in the week and was forced to battle back from a set down in her 3 previous matches en route to her first final since winning in Auckland at the start of the year. But the 2023 U.S. Open champion that showed little sign of that fragility as she claimed a 6-1, 6-3 win in 1 hour and 17 minutes, and Gauff jokingly put her improved form down to a visit to Belgium's Forbidden City with men's winner Carlos Alcaraz. There was nothing lucky about the way the 20-year-old star rattled through the opening set in just 30 minutes, hurrying her opponent into a series of unforced errors to claim 2 breaks of her serve in that one. And world number 49, Muchova, who was ranked as high as 8 before a lengthy layoff with a wrist injury picked up at the 2023 U.S. Open, had beaten top seed Irina Sabalenka and Olympic champions Zheng Qinwen in the previous rounds, but was unable to match Gauff's power and athleticism. The 28-year-old had lost her 2 previous matches against the young American, including the final of last year's Cincinnati Open, and suffered defeat in 4 of her previous 5 WTA finals. Congratulations to Coco Gauff. And now let's move over to the world of football once again. Aston Villa defender Enzo Konsa and Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White are out for England duty after sustaining injuries on Sunday. Konsa, 26 years of age, suffered a hamstring injury and was left the field just 12 minutes into Villa's goalless draw against Manchester United. Gibbs-White, 24 years of age, was substituted after 76 minutes of Forest 1-1 draw at Chelsea, and both players have been named in Lee Castle's 25-man squad for England's Nations League fixtures against Greece and Finland coming up this week. And Cowsley handed Konsa a starting role when the Three Lions defeated Finland by 2 goals 2-0 in that match at Wembley. It was on the 10th of September. I think it is a hamstring, but I don't know if big or small. Villa boss Unai Emery said of Konsa's injury. However, after Emery has spoken at his post-match press conference, a Villa official said even if the injury was a small one, it will still rule Konsa out for 2 weeks, and therefore make no sense for England to call him up. And Nottingham Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo also suggested that the prognosis on Gibbs White is unclear until they further investigate on this Monday. And Gibbs White made his senior debut for England from the bench during a 2-0 Nations League victory against the Republic of Ireland, and that was on the 7th of September. And England will attempt to extend their winning start under interim manager Cowsley when they host Greece on the 10th of October and travel to Finland 3 days later. And lastly, on football, let's go to Spain. Let's tell you that defender Dani Carvajal suffered an anterior cruciate ligament rupture in Real Madrid's 2-0 La Liga win over Villarreal. The club confirmed on Sunday. And while forward Vinicius Jr. has been diagnosed with a cervical injury, Carvajal was stretched off in tears at the Bernabeu, and later posted on social media that he had suffered a serious cruciate ligament injury, while Vinicius was substituted in the 79th minute, 6 minutes after scoring Real Madrid's second goal. Both players had been due to join up with their countries this week for the international break, with Spain facing Denmark and Serbia, while Brazil play Chile and Peru. And following tests carried out on Dani Carvajal by the Real Madrid Medical Services, the player has been diagnosed with a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament, a ruptured external collateral ligament, and a ruptured popliteus tendon in his right leg. Madrid statement said, and that was on Sunday. And Madrid announced on Sunday that despite the injury, they would be extending Carvajal's contract by a year until June 2026 in recognition of his importance to the club. The club also said that Vinicius has been diagnosed with a cervical injury and that his progress will be monitored. A source told the media that Vinicius will be caught from the Brazil squad. And speaking after Saturday's game, Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti said his players were sad and worried about Carvajal, while Vinicius felt stiff and was in pain in the aftermath of the game. And that was how he was substituted 6 minutes after scoring the goal for Madrid in that match against Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine. So for the likes of Dani Carvajal, we wish him a quick recovery from injury. Anterior cruciate ligaments, when injuries like that come out, it's almost a whole season. You are not going to see a player. Expect the player to be out for as much as 8-9 months before he can start process of recovering back from injury for the rest of the season. Let's go for a short break, a very short break. When we come back, wrap up the show with the results of our league matches across Western Europe. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show on the final call, Sports Splash, the Monday edition of the show. Now time for us to check out the results of league matches played across Western Europe at the weekend in France. We'll go to France and tell you what went down in the French Ligue 1. In the French Ligue 1, it was Nice who played out a 1-1 draw against PSG. Le Havre was on the road to Brest. They lost 2-0. Reims saw off Montpellier by 4-2. Strasbourg 2, Lens 2. Olympique Lyon at the Stade Jolon defeated Nantes by 2-0. It was Rennes 1, AS Monaco 2, Lille 2, Toulouse 1. Saint-Etienne defeated Auxerre by 3-1 at the Velodrome. Olympic Marseille played out a 1-1 draw against Angers. In Germany, VfB Stuttgart played out a 1-1 draw against Hoffenheim. On Frankfurt 3, Bayern Munich 3 in a 6-goal thriller. Elsewhere was a Heidenheim 0, RB Leipzig 1, St. Pauli 0, Mainz 0-5-3. Bayer Leverkusen at the Bay Arena played out a 2-2 draw against the New Boys at Holstein Kiel. Union Berlin 2, Borussia Dortmund 1, VfL Bochum 1. Wolfsburg 3, and Werder Bremen lost 0-1 to Freiburg, while Augsburg defeated Borussia Mönchengladbach by 2-1 to wrap up proceedings in the German Bundesliga for that weekday. In Italy, the Serie A, as is fondly called, let's tell you that Fiorentina defeated AC Milan by 2-1. Monza played out a 1-1 draw against AS Roma. It was Bologna 0, Parma 0. Lazio at the Stadio Olimpico defeated Empoli by 2-1, and at the Stadium della Pai in Turin, it was Juventus 2, Empoli. Juventus 1, Cagliari 1. Inter Milan defeated Torino by 3-1 at the Giuseppe Meazza. Atalanta saw off at Genoa. It was a whitewash, 5-1. Of course, when you hear about that scoreline, you begin to ask yourself if Ademola Lookman was on the score sheet. Udinese 1, Lecce 0. Hellas Verona defeated Venezia by 2-1. It was Napoli 3, Como 1907 1. That's how it ended out there in the Italian Serie A. Let's move over to Spain. The La Liga, Real Sociedad 1, Atletico Madrid 1, Sevilla 1, Real Betis 0, Deportivo Alaves 0, Barcelona 3, Girona defeated Athletic Club by 2-1, Real Madrid 2, Villarreal 0, Las Palmas 0, Celta Vigo 1, Real Valladolid 1, Rayo Vallecano 2. Getafe played out a 1-1 draw against Osasuna. It was Espanyol 2, Real Mallorca 1. Yes, Espanyol getting the better of Real Mallorca by 2-1. Leganés 0, Valencia 0. In England, Crystal Palace are lost at home at the Selhurst Park 0-1 to Liverpool, as Liverpool remains on top of the chart before the international break. And West Ham United defeated Ipswich Town by 4-1. It was Manchester City 3, Fulham 2, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0. Brentford defeated Wolverhampton Wanderers by 5-3. Was Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Everton at the Goodison Park continued in their poor form this season as they played out a goalless draw against Newcastle United. Chelsea played out a 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest in the London Derby. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0, while Brighton and Hove Albion came back from 2 goals down to beat Tottenham Hotspur 3-2. It ended. It was a spirited performance by Brighton, coming from 2 goals down, trailing 2-0, equalizing, getting a lifeline, equalizing, and then winning by 3-2 against Tottenham Hotspur for a great one for their fans to cherish out there after the weekend. And those were the results of league matches in France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and England. That brings an end to the show. Thank you very much for being part of a Sports Splash, the Monday edition. And the show continues this week. Tomorrow, join us for another episode. 9:15 a.m. is the time. My name is Ike Nwokede. Have a lovely week, and remember to keep sporting. Bye-bye now.